In 1975, the average American didn't go for a walk. They just walked to the store, to school, to a friend's house, to the mailbox at the end of the street. And by the end of the day, without thinking about it, they had covered miles. No gym, no step counter, no workout clothes, just life. So what happened to that world? And when we stopped walking, what did we really lose? If you look at an old photograph of the early 1970s, something feels different. Not just the cars, not the clothes, not even the absence of screens. It's the movement. People are in motion, crossing the street, carrying groceries, walking beside each other, heading somewhere. No one is working out, but everyone is moving, and that difference changes everything. Back then, movement wasn't a task. It was the background of daily life. You didn't schedule it, you didn't track it, you didn't even notice it. Your legs were simply how you lived. Think about the layout of a typical American neighborhood in 1975. Life existed within walking distance. The grocery store was around the corner. The pharmacy was 3 blocks away. The post office sat just past the intersection. The barber shop, the diner, the hardware store, all connected by sidewalks that actually went somewhere. If you needed something, you didn't automatically reach for your car keys. You reached for your shoes. You might remember it. The feeling of the sidewalk under your feet, the quiet hum of a summer afternoon, the sound of a screen door closing behind you. You weren't going for a walk. You were just going somewhere. These were micro movements, small distances, repeated again and again, walking to the mailbox, walking to a neighbor's house, walking to buy milk, walking home from school. Each one felt insignificant, but together, they built a body that never stopped moving. Today, we've replaced that world with something very different. We drive to a building, to walk on a machine, while staring at a screen, and then we sit again. We've turned movement into a task, something to schedule, something to complete, something to get over with. But in the 1970s, movement wasn't something you did, it was something you lived inside. And it wasn't just the streets that kept people moving. It was the world itself. Because back then, the world had friction. There were no remote controls. If you wanted to change the channel, you stood up, walked across the room, and turned a heavy plastic dial. Click, click, click. If you wanted to call a friend, you didn't tap a screen. You walked to the wall, picked up a rotary phone, waited as the dial slowly spun back. If you wanted fresh air, you didn't press a button. You walked across the house and cranked open a window. Even rest required movement, and over time, that movement added up. Think about chores, not workouts, just chores. You pushed a lawn mower through thick grass using your full body. There was no motor helping you, no easy mode. You carried groceries by hand, paper bags digging into your fingers, milk jugs swinging at your side. You hung clothes on a line in the backyard, reaching, stretching, clipping each piece under the sun. No one called it exercise. No one tracked calories, but the body was always working, always adjusting, always burning through what it was given. And then something changed. By the late 1970s and into the 1980s, America began to spread out. Small local stores started disappearing. In their place came larger supermarkets, then shopping centers, then massive malls, all built farther and farther away. Distances grew. Sidewalks disappeared. Roads widened. Parking lots expanded. Walking didn't just become inconvenient. It became impractical. The pharmacy was no longer 3 blocks away. It was 5 miles down a busy road, across traffic, across intersections that weren't built for people. So people adapted. They drove, and slowly, without noticing, walking disappeared from daily life. But the biggest change may have happened to children. If you grew up in the 1970s, you remember a certain kind of freedom. After breakfast, you left the house, you rode your bike, you walked to a friend's place, you explored empty lots, you cut through backyards, you figured out the world using your legs. There was no schedule, no constant supervision, no tracking, just one rule: be home when the streetlights come on. Between morning and evening, you moved constantly. You didn't think about steps, but your body did. You ran, you climbed, you walked, you wandered, and by the time dinner came, you had already done more physical activity than most modern adults. Today, childhood looks different. Kids are driven to school, driven to activities, driven home. They move from one indoor space to another. Safe? Yes, but still. And something important gets lost in that stillness. Because when you stop moving through the world, you stop feeling it. You lose the sense of distance, the sense of effort, the sense of space. You become a passenger instead of a participant, and the body responds accordingly. When we look back at old photos and notice how much leaner people looked, we often focus on food. Less sugar, less processing, different ingredients. But there's another piece, a quieter one. The body itself was in constant motion, not intense motion, not exhausting workouts, just steady, consistent daily movement. Science now has a name for this: non-exercise activity. The calories burned not in the gym, but in everything else. Walking, standing, reaching, carrying, living. And in the 1970s, this kind of movement never really stopped. So the body adapted. It used what it was given. It stayed balanced. It stayed lean without trying to be. Today, we try to recreate that balance with gyms, with routines, with structured exercise, but something is missing, because you can't fully replace a lifestyle with a 30-minute session. You can't compress a day of movement into a single block of time. And maybe that's the real story. We didn't just lose walking. We lost a way of living that quietly kept us healthy. The sidewalks, the short distances, the small errands, the open afternoons, the freedom to move without thinking about it. And maybe we don't need to go back completely, but we can remember. We can notice the small opportunities. A short walk instead of a short drive. A moment outside instead of another hour inside. A reason to use our legs again, not as a task, not as a chore, but as something natural. Because in the end, movement was never supposed to be scheduled. It was supposed to be part of life, and your legs are still waiting